Talks Podcast. Let's hit it. It's the 20 Talks Podcast. Let's go. It's the 20 Talks Podcast. Oh, 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 oh.
Lauren, welcome back to 20 Talks.
I know.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, very well, thanks. So what have you been up to since our last episode?
Oh God, I've been in the depths of half term.
Yes. Yeah, so we've had, in the UK, we've had, the kids have been off school for a week.
Yeah. And even though Red is homeschooled.
Yeah.
Wild,
So your little boy.
Yeah, my little boy. Wild still has nursery. So
Right.
she has a half term break. So we kind of have to still stick to that at the moment. But yeah, it was actually nice. It was good fun. I worked less than I intended to because I also had a flat tyre.
Oh,
So
that doesn't help things.
No, but flexibility of work meant that I could basically just shuffle everyone around.
Amazing.
And I worked a 12-hour day instead, and then had the rest of the week off with the kids, which was quite nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. So how were the clients when you had to...
I mean,
move things
I am
around?
so lucky that my clients are so understanding. I mean, a lot of them have been with me for years, and so they've been through me being pregnant twice, maternity leave twice, and they're just all great. They're just I think I kind of run my business in a way that I'm flexible as well. I do have policies in place, and you know, I do enforce them if people are pushing the boundaries too much, but I am very flexible. And if you're honest with me, I completely get that life throws things at you and you have to, you know, change your appointments or cancel at the last minute for certain things. So yeah, my clients are all really, really lovely, and I'm really lucky that I can have that flexibility. But obviously, like, you know, if stuff like that happens, you can offer a discount or, you know, like 10% off. I'm really sorry, I'm gonna have to move you. Like, it's not a big deal to you. But yeah, it was great.
Nice.
What about you?
So yeah, I mean, yeah, as we all know, that like working mums and half term is no joke.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, mine are 15 and 11 now.
Mm-hmm.
And like, obviously, as much as they don't need me there physically, like they don't need me there, you know, to make sure they don't kill themselves, which is always a bonus.
It's a bonus.
But,
I can't wait for that time.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, when they can actually be self-sufficient and
Yeah.
they can, you know, they know they're not going to like fall downstairs or like flush their head down the toilet or something.
Yeah. Or each other's.
Yeah, kill each other. Yeah, but I mean, even so, like, you know, they still need dropping off places. They still need, and also like you have the huge mum guilt of the fact that they're on their devices all day.
Yeah.
And so like I was a little bit torn this half term because obviously it's only a week and
Yeah.
it's February and the weather has been absolutely atrocious.
Yeah.
And also like, you know, from Christmas, they come back after Christmas and then they've got like 6 weeks till half term. And like it's quite full on, isn't it? Like my two
intense.
get the bus as well.
Yeah.
Like I'm massively turning them into snowflakes here. The fact like they poor little things. They have to get the bus.
No, but they're in like that kind of intense, like it's full on learning.
It's
Isn't
full on
like,
learning.
It's
they,
quite
yeah. Like their days
intense.
have like 40 minutes either side because they're getting the bus.
Yeah.
Like the weather is horrific.
Yeah.
They're ill.
Like we wouldn't want to be doing it.
No, exactly. Yeah, I mean, there's no way I'm getting the bus anywhere.
No.
So yeah, so I was kind of a bit like, you know, like you have that real struggle of like, oh God, I shouldn't be leaving. Like, especially my son is 11 and all he wants to do is game.
Yeah.
And all his mates are gaming and they're on like their VRs and they're all talking to each other.
Yeah.
So I'm like kind of torn a little bit because it's like, well, they're chatting with their mates, so they're having a social.
Yeah, that's their socialising.
That's their
now, isn't
social.
it?
They're
They
not
don't
they're
do
not
it like
going out
we
to
did.
parks like
No.
we did. Yeah, I mean,
Literally.
yeah, literally.
Lived in a park.
And the thing is that like not great stuff happened in that park.
No.
So
It's
you know,
probably
I'm
better that they're sat
I'm quite
behind
glad
a computer
that-
screen.
exactly that they're kind of in the safety of their own home.
Yeah.
But you know, and like they are talking to all their mates, but then the fact that they're like on a screen all day,
Yeah.
and like you do kind of see it in him, especially that like, you know, he's so red when he comes off it.
Like, well
He's
into it.
He's so sweaty, he's so red. And like, I suppose the thing is with the VR, it's quite physical.
Yeah.
Which I suppose is one thing, but yeah, it obviously has really consumed him. So like, there's me saying, you know, he's had a hard 6 weeks and he needs to have a bit of a rest, so he just stayed in. But you know, but then he's like, all day on the VR.
Yeah, and it's not great for our brains, is it? Like,
it's not
it must be
great.
doing something.
It's not great. So I've had huge mum guilt.
Yeah.
Huge mum guilt all day, every day. And I've like checked in, you know, like, are you still alive? Are you still okay? And obviously they don't want us, you know, like he's been like going to work, like, come on,
go away,
you know. And like, obviously he's got his older sister upstairs,
yeah,
and she's, you know, she's 15 now, she's doing her GCSEs, not that they have anything to do with each other in the day, but at least I know that she's the responsible one, and she's like babysitting essentially, even though they barely speak in the 8 hours that I'm at work.
But if anything was to happen, you've got that backup, right?
Exactly. Like, she would make sure that he was okay.
Yeah,
I hope. So I've had huge mum guilt, just thinking, like, I've obviously been completely head down because we've had the spring launch, and we launched it the Friday of the half term. Was it Friday?
You know you're in control of that.
I know. Yeah. Oh my god, completely. Like,
you're like, this is a great time to just add to my stress.
Launch another 14 shades.
Yeah.
No, and that's the thing that I always do to myself. Like, and my husband says it to me all the time. He's like, you are in control of this.
That's what mine says to me. He's like, why are you so stressed?
Yeah.
You can say no, you can plan your day, but because of like the mum guilt and all the things that come around, you end up having to cram a day to then alleviate time and
and your business is your baby.
Yeah.
Like, I feel I love my business just as much as my children. No, I don't feel like that. But I do.
No, I get it.
I have given it my heart and soul.
Yeah, you have that same level of commitment.
Exactly.
In there, like,
and you see, like, every other brand is launching their spring range, and like, so come on, you know, time is ticking. So there is a lot of pressure to get it out there. And so I had a self-imposed deadline and a launch date of the Friday of the half term, but it was fine, and we got it out, and you know, all is well. But yeah, like, I kind of, when the kids went back to school on Monday, it was like, oh my god, sigh of relief.
It's been intense.
I went to the gym.
You did some things.
I actually went to the gym, and you know, just like had a day where I wasn't constantly ringing in and being like, are you okay? So now we're back in the swing of things, and you know, we had a couple of days out. We came up to London, had a little family day out, had a few bits and bobs to do.
Force them to spend time.
And that's the thing, is that they only spend time with us now when we're spending money on them. Like, we went to, so my son is like, my daughter who's 15 isn't so much like this, which you would think for a girl, but she's kind of like, she's happy with like an ASOS or an H&M or, you know, whatever. Like, she's okay with like a high street brand, you know, and if she like gets a new pair of jeans from Bershka, like, she's good to go. Yeah. Whereas he is brand. Yeah. And like, I've never, you know, when he was little, like, he would have like Nike trainers or Adidas trainers or whatever, but I've never been like a brandy sort of person.
Yeah, it's not
like,
imposed by you.
No. So it's totally TikTok or whatever he's going on. He's seeing all these people wearing all sorts of stuff.
And like their friends, right?
And their friends. And so anyway, I said to him, oh, we'll go to Selfridges. You'll love Selfridges.
Oh my God.
Because
I wish I got taken to Selfridges when I was
younger.
Well,
I wasn't planning on actually buying him anything. I mean, that's where
we're going to go to Selfridges, but you have no budget.
But it's
zero budget.
Yes, but it's completely window shopping, and it's torture. So, I mean, it was completely my fault, because who says to an 11-year-old, we'll go to Selfridges and we'll look at the brands, all the brands you can't buy.
Yeah.
So we did that, and he got the hump.
Right.
And we went up to the kids department. It was almost like, as I was doing it, I thought, why are you here? Why have you done this? So I took him to the kids department, and he's looking at Palm Angels, and he's looking at all these brands.
That department is insane. I remember going there when I was pregnant and being like, I want this. But how can I achieve this?
I mean, like, £400 for like a pair of baby shoes.
You literally have one baby and realise that that's just
never
going to happen.
So we had a bit of that. So he went to the kids department, didn't, you know, there wasn't anything that he could afford because, you know, £700 for a Moncler coat is not happening. So then we went to the men's department, which he can't fit in, and the same thing happened. So that
Basically, you can get nothing.
so you can get out. So welcome to your Willy Wonka of clothes,
that you cannot afford.
you cannot afford any of it.
Yeah.
So
I mean, that
yeah.
could be inspiring. This could be the
Well, this is it. Do you know what I
driving
mean?
factor.
And, no joke, I have actually thought that.
Yeah.
So I have thought, you know, like maybe if that is his goal, then maybe I should make it his goal, not my goal to buy it for him.
No.
But like, if you want the finer things in life,
You've got to
work for
that.
it, love.
Yeah.
You know, like I treated myself to a really nice bag last year.
Yeah.
And, you know, I worked my arse off for
Yeah.
it.
I love that. Like a little.
And it
I
was
really
my
want
goal.
this.
And it was a goal.
Yeah.
It was like, I said to my friend, I'm going to buy myself this bag when I can afford it. And when I can, I'm going to like make a real like
Yeah.
big thing about it.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what I did. But
Love that.
like, I'm old enough to save up and buy myself a nice bag
Yeah.
and appreciate it. And it did feel like I'd really ticked a box, and it really
Yeah.
did feel like I'd achieved something. As you know, like other people would be like, what? Like, you bought yourself a bag, big wow.
No,
but,
I get that.
But
It's
yeah,
still
it
on
was
my
something
like list. I've got a bag that I want.
exactly.
And one day I will.
And it's a girl thing.
I'll
like,
walk in and I will buy that bag.
yeah,
and
like
it'll-
men
I'll
would
pay with
probably
cash.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like men would probably have like, I want to buy myself this car or whatever. But
Yeah.
we love bags.
Love a
Like, I'm
bag.
not
Yeah.
gonna be sorry for that. So I think like and it was quite an incentive. So I think like that's kind of why I do take them to places like Selfridges
Mm-hmm.
and be like, you know, if this is what you want,
Yeah.
you've got to
You've got to work.
for it because it's not going to land in your lap. So if you do want your Moncler £700 coat,
Yeah, which is insane.
which is insane. I
Then-
mean, because I'm certainly not buying it for you.
No.
Then you're gonna have to work for it.
Yeah.
So
love
yeah,
that.
so that was essentially our half term, just
Spring
shepherding children.
collection, Selfridges,
Spring collection and Selfridges.
and just
Not bad.
diminishing all of his.
Exactly. But yeah, the spring collection has been great,
Yeah.
and
Massive launch.
huge launch because you know we don't do anything.
14 shades.
I know.
I remember when you told me and I was literally like, sorry.
I think
Are
that
we
might
going
have
to
even
split
been
this
more.
up or is this one?
How many
big-
did we do for autumn? We did quite a lot for autumn.
There was a
as
lot
well.
because you had the hema-free as well. Yeah.
Well, this is it. We've got hema-free in this
Yeah.
one. So that's the thing that like we get a bit carried away. Well, I mean, I say we.
Yeah, when you
do.
say we, it's you.
It's me.
Yeah.
That's the thing because what we do is we'll put on something on stories
Yeah.
and we'll be like, guys, you know, what are we missing? What do you want for spring
Yeah.
or summer or whatever?
Yeah, I was going
or,
to say,
you know,
how do you come to these decisions?
Yeah, so it's kind of there's so many prongs attached to it.
Yeah.
So one of the first things we'll do is go onto socials
Yeah.
and ask people what they want,
Yeah.
because you know we can look at all the trends that are out there,
Mm-hmm.
but if our customers are not feeling it, then it's a waste of money.
And it's hard to like pre-plan what's going to be the spring
Massively,
thing,
especially
right?
if you've got like a curveball thrown at you, like a Hailey Bieber iced chrome.
Yeah, it just comes out of nowhere.
Exactly. And then you have to scramble for that.
Yeah.
So we kind of did that when we first launched. So I think it must have been around a similar sort of time because we then brought out our glazed chrome.
Yeah,
So it was
I
glazed,
remember.
the Hailey Bieber glazed donut.
donut nails, yeah.
And obviously we didn't have that. So we scrambled to get in a glazed chrome.
Like everyone did.
Like everyone
was
did.
going
So
crazy.
obviously you can plan to a certain extent, but then little things like that
Yeah,
come
you
out
just
of the
don't
blue.
know what your clients are going to see, and then it's going to just trickle
Exactly. Like there's
through.
the Kylie Jenner soap nails.
Which we've already had. That was just like the lip gloss nails,
Exactly.
but revisited.
Yeah.
And it's all down to like how the brand, like I think I saw it in like Glamour Mag.
Yeah.
And they did this whole thing, and actually it was just a rework of the year before.
Yeah, exactly.
you just don't
yeah.
know.
And I mean, and that is great because you can then go, remember these shades?
Yeah.
Remember these shade that you
But
loved
the
on
chrome was
so-and-so?
just like mental. Cat eyes come back round.
Yeah.
Which actually had like a peak ages ago. And then I swear everyone was just like, oh no, not cat eye. But now we're getting like the next level of cat eye.
Yes,
Those
exactly.
like
There are
finer
so
particles,
many,
that kind of
exactly.
glassy, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just blown up.
It used to just be that kind of like bit of a holographic, and now
Yeah.
they're kind of really working it so it does
Yeah.
all sorts of different things. So we added in a cat eye because I think like everyone's always asking for it
Yeah.
now. And we didn't want to go too mad with it because it's not really a spring thing.
No.
It's more of a Christmas and autumn thing. But I have got some really, really nice cat eyes coming for autumn.
Oh, I'm
So
excited.
I'm looking at them already. But
Not
that's
wishing
only
it away, but
no, because
Can't
just
wait.
let us have a summer first.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But yeah, I literally can't wait because they are insane. You're gonna die.
yeah, I can't.
But anyway,
little sneak
little
peek there.
sneaky peek. So yes, so we obviously ask the customers because you know if we've got like we are still a very relatively new brand.
Yeah.
So we are going to still have gaps in our ranges because we can't bring out everything all at once.
No.
So we were missing a couple of pastels. So we asked, you know, do you want spring pastels? And a lot of people came back and said, yes, we want lilac. So they're not really concerned about any mints. We've got a lot of we've got
Yeah.
a Build and Boost mint. We've got an art gel that's a mint.
Yeah,
We've
you've got some nice
Hema-free.
mints.
Exactly. So they wanted some lilac. So we brought out 2 lilacs.
Yeah.
One is really, really light. And
Yeah,
like,
I think that was like a key one for me
yeah,
because I feel like so many brands have lilacs, but they're not light enough.
exactly.
You need that like real, just like a hint.
Yes, and we didn't want it to be too purple essentially.
No.
But it's really really light. It's
Yeah.
almost white.
Yeah. It's so nice.
Yeah, I really love it. And then you've got pastel. So that one's a light lilac, and then you've got pastel, which is a bit more of a like a standard, like
Yeah,
your
your standard,
quintessential pastel lilac.
Yeah.
So they've been doing really well, and they are really nicely pigmenting because that's the problem, isn't it, with
People avoid it like the plague
because they're just so watery.
yeah. And you don't
and you
want
have
the
to-
streakiness. You don't want
streaky.
the like bulkiness where you've done 3 coats. It's just, especially over the top of Builder Gel, it's like your worst nightmare.
Exactly. So they're really pigmented, so that's really great. So we ask the customers, and then we obviously do our own research. We look at what the catwalks have been doing. So we will look at the beauty about the fashion and beauty industry is that they work so far in advance.
Yeah.
So, and with my background, I've always worked in beauty and fashion. So I've been kind of used to working so far in advance, and I kind of know where to go
Yeah. Yeah.
to find like trend information. So there is a site called WGSN, and it's Global Style Network. I can't remember what the W stands for. Anyway,
I have no idea.
so it's an industry site that
Okay.
and it's a trend forecasting agency. So they are basically the trendsetters, the taste setters
Oh,
for
nice.
everything.
Yeah.
So there's interiors, there's kids wear, there's beauty, obviously menswear, women's wear,
Yeah.
plus loads of other stuff as well. And they'll even go down to like the real nitty gritty of like, like what console tables are going to be in this year.
Yeah, yeah.
It really is. They have a department for everything. So
Ooh.
kind of everything you see, certainly in like on the high street. Obviously, it's been influenced by designers, but
Yeah.
it's also been massively influenced by these trend agencies.
Yeah. Yeah.
So WGSN is a big one for us because they will go down to nail trends of spring summer 25,
So good.
autumn winter 25.
Yeah.
So as much as we will obviously look at those, and they then will divide those into kind of colour stories.
Yeah.
So one of their stories was kind of like resort wear for
Oh,
spring summer
okay.
25.
Yeah.
So it was a lot of like Breton stripes, they were saying,
Yeah.
so like navy blues and whites, or it might be like a bright lemon. So the sort of thing you would imagine on like the Amalfi Coast,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
like in Cannes,
Mm-hmm.
and like a corals and things
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
And we've kind of got those colours already.
Yeah.
And obviously we look at past sales to see what people are actually
What
buying.
they're buying, yeah.
And our girls love, you know, the lighter nudes, the pastels.
Yeah.
So yeah, so we kind of thought, as gorgeous as that kind of colour story is, we're kind of ticking that box already, and I'm not
Yeah.
entirely sure our customers are
And you
really...
can surely do like an edit of that, right?
Exactly.
On your, because you do that on your site all the time.
Exactly. Yeah. So we'll kind of be like, guys, what about this? Like,
Yeah.
look at these colours together. They work really
Yeah,
well.
yeah,
Or, you know, this
This
will
is like
work.
a great kind of theme
Exactly.
for this month or whatever.
Exactly. So yeah, you're totally right. We can always put that into an edit just to give people just an idea,
Yeah.
because it is really nice that when your client comes in, that you've, you know, if they're like, I have no idea.
Yeah. Or
You
they're
know.
like, I'm going on holiday, or I really like the idea of coral, but I want something else. You can be like, oh, I've just seen
Exactly.
20 post these beautiful colours together.
Yeah.
Let's use that as a like
Yeah.
palette almost.
Exactly. So yeah, so we draw quite a lot of inspiration from that. So I think this particular spring 25 collection, we took quite a lot of inspiration from WGSN for that. Because they had a colour story on there that was very much about kind of like pearls.
Yeah, I love the pearly
and
ones.
yeah,
Oh my
and
God.
and like we know that our girls love like you know, like a chrome pearlized finish.
Yeah.
But they don't necessarily want the ag of chrome powder,
Yeah.
because it is an ag, let's face it.
Yeah. Or it like not lasting, or but having that
Exactly.
sort of finish is it's a dream.
Exactly. So that's what we wanted to do, but in liquid form.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got something called Ariel, a shade called Ariel.
Ariel's so
that,
nice.
you know,
I
you
can't
know,
wait
it
for
is
people to be having that.
mermaid tail.
Yeah.
Hence the name.
So nice.
So yeah, so that and we've got the pearls, and we've got pink satin and whisper. So they're all really pearlized shades.
Yeah.
That are really, really pretty. And also, what we also take into consideration is that we're now coming up to bridal season.
Yeah.
So spring
They're
for
so
us,
pearl is so bridal.
yeah. I mean, any single one of them
Yeah.
could be a bridal shade.
Yeah.
And yeah, so we went down that route for spring, and we looked at the fact that we would be coming into wedding season. And so we could start looking at that and factoring it into that, because spring hasn't always been like a huge season for us. Like an
No.
autumn winter is massive for us, and
Yeah.
you know, like our builders are our core products within our range. And so but when people go mad on the colours, it's generally for autumn and winter.
Yeah.
So we wanted to kind of give the customer something that we know they're going to use. So that's why we went for the kind of the bridal colours.
Yeah.
And the pastels and the nudes and the light sheer pinks.
Oh, yeah, they're so lovely.
Because yeah, we need to create products that our customers need and that customers are going to use, because the last thing they want to do is fork out for products to be sitting on their shelves.
Yeah. You buy a
So-
colour, no one ever picks it, and you've lost money. You want,
Exactly.
you want to be rebuying that colour
Exactly.
because it's so popular.
Exactly. And we don't want it to sit on our shelves.
No.
You know, so we really try to put together a collection that people are actually going to want to buy, because you know, our customers want newness, their clients want newness. They want to come in and be like,
Oh, it's
what have
such
you
a
got
buzz.
for me?
Like, yeah, when you're like,
Exactly.
I've got all these new shades.
But if they're shades that no one's after,
yeah,
then
it's pointless.
exactly, and then
Yeah.
they've just spent a load of money and their clients aren't going to want it. So we look at what sells, and we try and replicate it, but in a slightly different way, that your customer. So whenever we promote it, we're kind of like, this is great for nude lovers. Like, this is great for your builder girls that just want something a little bit extra.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I think that's kind of what we've tried to do with this particular collection.
Yeah.
And so far so good. People seem to be liking it.
Sold
and
well, been popular.
It's been popular, and you know, that's the aim. So yeah, so now it's spring summer.
Crazy.
it's not actually spring summer
No,
as we know,
not
because
yet.
every time
We're ahead.
every time we film this podcast, it absolutely pees down.
Oh my god, the weather
Completely ruins our hair,
Yeah.
which is very stressful.
I
on
can't
the way
wait
up
for the
here.
summer pods where we're like,
Wait, we're going to be here in our bikinis.
yeah, what are we gonna wear?
Oh, you're going to love it.
What are we gonna wear?
We're going to be here in our little sundresses and all sorts.
I'll
But
still be in black.
yeah, yeah, just in a black bikini.
Yeah.
Um,
Maybe had 2 Bs. I'm a bit old for that now.
yeah. But yeah, so next is spring summer, which we're working on now, and we're thinking about, this isn't set in stone yet, but we want to bring in some juicy cat eyes.
Oh,
You heard it here first. You heard it here first.
I'm excited.
Because a lot of the cat eyes we've got at the moment are quite muted. I mean,
Yeah.
a lot of our colours are muted because, again, that's what our customers want.
Yeah.
But I think it would be fun to have like some real hot pinks and some really juicy, vibrant cat eyes.
Yeah.
So
we
that's
need
what
it.
we're working on at the
I'm
moment.
excited.
Yeah.
I'm so excited.
Yeah. And as I say, we've got some corkers for autumn.
Oh,
I kind of want to skip, as much as I don't want to, because I want to have a summer.
Yeah.
Like we said before, I just want to kind of skip and get
Yeah.
to autumn because it's so nice.
It's a great time.
It's so nice.
It's a great time to have a nail business.
Yeah.
Because you do get like an influx of clients. You do get people really like going darker and like pushing boundaries. Like your client that's had nude all summer will come in and be like, we're going dark.
Oh, I love that.
I love it.
Love
It's
that.
my fave.
Yeah.
It's like my soul.
Yeah, you're like, well done.
Are we going black?
Yeah.
They're like, not quite.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah, it just, I don't know, it does something. And then Christmas rolls around and I get sick to death of glitter. But
Yeah.
that autumn winter time is definitely my
Yeah,
favourite.
the autumn is great. You know, like when everyone starts posting on socials about like the leaves have
Like
turned, you know.
their shoes in the leaves.
Yes, country walks and
Yeah.
hot chocolate and
Yeah.
roaring fires.
Yeah.
And then as soon as I start putting the emojis on the post, like the log, the
Yeah.
little teddy bear, the flame.
You're like,
you know,
yes, get me to a log cabin.
yes, it's awesome. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
Love it. So
But we
yeah.
are just slowly coming into March. So
Yeah, yes. Yeah, so we've got a while. And
got a while.
I'm not wishing away the summer
No.
because we really
we need a good one.
desperately need
Need a
one.
good spring. Like the blue skies appearing at the moment are giving us a little tease.
Giving us a little bit of life.
Yeah.
So how are you going to cope with the summer holiday? So your kids are little, aren't they? You're like in a
Yes.
completely different
I'm in a whole
headspace.
different world to you. Yeah.
yeah, completely
Yeah,
different
they
headspace.
they are solely dependent on me and my husband and my mum, who does a lot for us.
Amazing.
And it's intense. It's really intense. And for someone who is really career driven and always has been, it's really hard. Like you said about the mum guilt, it is intense. And I do struggle with it. I really do. And now that we've got one that's homeschool, one that's at nursery, obviously we've now made it even harder. But we're making it work. My husband works shifts, and so I'm not in any flow with my work at all. So my clients can't really be like, every 3 Mondays I have an appointment, because I just don't
Got you.
work
Yeah.
the same days.
Right.
But it's fine. It's very, very time consuming to sit and go through multiple diaries to like work out what I can open up. But we're making it work. It's not forever, right? You
It's
give
not
me
forever.
hope.
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
one day.
Yeah, no, to be honest, like I have my kids quite young, and so a lot of my friends do have quite young children.
Yeah.
And like I do feel like the matriarch that's like, don't worry, don't wish it away.
It's okay. Yeah.
Don't
that
wish
one.
it away. You'll
Enjoy
regret
it.
it.
Just be immersed in it.
Completely.
Yeah.
Don't, they're only young for a little, make the most of it while they want to hold your hand.
Yeah.
But it's true.
It is true.
Because it is a smack in the face when, they don't want you anymore.
No.
And they need you, but they don't want you.
Yeah. It's also
So-
very overstimulating when they do need you
Oh,
and want you.
completely. Yeah, completely.
So
I
there's
still get that. I still
Yeah.
get a bit of that, but it's more like the noise. It's more like one being on their phone, one watching
Yeah.
YouTube, someone else cooking dinner.
Yeah, like, can you not?
Shut up.
Yeah, can we just all put headphones on and
Exactly.
not?
But yeah, there is a light at the end of the tunnel because now they're both at secondary school. Like I say, for me, it's a little bit easier because they get the bus, so I don't even really have to be around for school runs anymore.
Yeah.
But I can crack out like an 8-hour day, real head down working without really any interruptions,
Which is great.
which is incredible. And to be honest, I don't think I could have started 20 when they were your kids' age.
Yeah.
Because it's such a juggling act.
Yeah.
It's really, really hard to be everything to everyone.
Yeah.
And if you are running a business with young children, like, that is no walk in the park.
No. And it is like 20 tabs open in my head all the time. And then I thrive in it, and I always have.
Really?
I don't know why. I just thrive in chaos, in stress, in deadlines. I am that person. Give me a deadline and I'll have it done at midnight on that day. It's never getting done
Right.
before.
Right.
Because I've got so much else going on.
Yeah.
And it drives my husband insane.
Yeah.
But that's just how I work. And if I'm bored, it's awful. Like,
Yeah.
I've always thrived in stress, and any job I've ever done, I've always taken on more than whatever was expected of me, and that's just always been me. So I think working for yourself, that's perfect.
Yeah.
Because if you're working for yourself and the end goal is for you, then give it your all. But when you're doing it for someone else, it's not always
Kind of takes the
rewarded.
shine off a
is
little
it?
bit,
No,
doesn't it?
and it's not always rewarded. It's not always even noticed, especially in like the corporate world. You could work an 8-hour day, a 12-hour day, and get paid exactly the same with nothing extra.
Yeah, very little
So
recognition.
I think working for yourself is key for that, but it is definitely no walk in the park. And
Yeah, I mean, there's upsides to everything, isn't
Yeah.
there, and downsides to everything.
Yeah.
And the one thing about running something like a nail salon, or running, even if you haven't got people working for you and you're just by yourself, it is very different to being employed.
Yeah.
And just kind of clocking in and clocking out.
Yeah.
And also, once you have essentially clocked out, you've then got clients messaging you.
oh yeah,
DMing
it doesn't
you.
end. Yeah.
Yeah, so
It is a lot.
it really is. It's not a 9 to 5.
No.
Even
No,
if
you
your
end
hours
up-
are 9
you
to
work
5.
more. You work more than you ever have, but you do reap the rewards if you put the time in and you are pushing yourself enough. Like,
Yeah.
you will reap the rewards eventually,
Mm.
but there is a cusp where you're like, this is mental.
Yeah, which is what we were discussing earlier. Like,
Yeah.
we've got a lot of things on the horizon,
Yeah.
education being one
Oh
of
my
them,
God,
which
yeah.
we're both heavily involved in.
Cannot wait.
And cannot wait. But we are both on like the brink of hysteria. Because there is so much to do. And and I
Yeah.
think once it's launched and once, we've got bums on seats, then hopefully that's when like the fun starts, because that's
Yeah.
when you can start teaching. But
This is
it's just the build up to that is
on
very
top
stressful.
of everything else that we're doing as well.
Exactly.
Like, we are just very busy people, and we just
Exactly.
like to add more to it.
Yes,
But
it's almost like we're gluttons for punishment.
yeah, definitely.
But yeah, adding kids into the mix is I mean, it's having kids without working is hard.
Yeah,
Like being a stay-at-home mum
I
is
could not do
really,
it.
really
Yeah,
hard
hats off
work.
to anyone who does that, because I could not.
Exactly. And sometimes, in a way, like people will probably massively argue with me here, but sometimes when you do work, it can be a little bit easier because they will go to nursery, or they will go to a grandparent, or the other half, or
You
whatever,
get a break,
and you get
like,
a break.
It becomes the break. Yeah.
Exactly. But
even
when
if you are working as intensely as we are,
Yeah.
it is a break away from them, and
Yes.
I feel like you do then enjoy your time with them better, and you are more present, and you
Yeah.
are. But it is hard because
Very hard.
for me, I have got people messaging me all the time, and it's hard to not just be on my phone replying and being with the kids as well. And now we're homeschooling too,
Yeah.
so I have got to be a bit more sort of controlled in that sense.
Yeah.
But
And you must have to really like try and factor in the home. I mean, he's still so little, isn't he?
Yeah,
He's
I mean,
still so young.
yeah.
It's not like you're doing GCSEs with him.
no, but it's, you know, we're making it work, and it's actually really, really fun. I love it.
Oh, good.
And he's so much happier, so it makes sense. But I think you can do both.
Yeah.
As long as you, I think as well, a lot of the time it maybe like falls on the mum perhaps, or just the dad. Like one of you is that person doing the homeschooling. It doesn't have to be. Like we are a team, and that's why it's working.
Yeah. Yeah. And I suppose like you being self-employed and, you know, having people working under you as well.
Yeah.
Maybe makes it a little bit easier, does it?
Yeah, definitely. And I think we've got such a lovely team, and the way I kind of work the business is that at the moment everyone's self-employed, so they kind of like pay me a fee, and that covers using my products, or that covers the rent or the bills or whatever it is. So I don't have to work 7 days a week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're not working to keep the lights on anymore.
No.
Yeah.
And that's all I wanted. I didn't want to be, you know, having a load of people working under me for minimum wage, and I'm reaping the rewards and, you know, driving around.
Because that doesn't foster a very nice atmosphere.
I want to go
in the
into
salon.
work, and I want to be with like a team.
Yeah.
And I don't want them to be like, oh, you're the boss, and, you know, everyone starts whispering when you walk in.
And
I don't
you
want
don't
that
get
vibe.
that vibe.
No.
Coming in as a client into your salon, you don't get that vibe at all.
No,
It is,
and I
it
feel
is
like
a real
you
team.
can feel it, right?
Yeah,
and that's
you
what I've
can.
never. I just want it to be welcoming. I want it to be a nice place. I want everyone to kind of feel like it is almost like a home from home. You're safe. You can talk in front of any of the team, and I think a lot of my clients certainly feel that way. And, you know, they come in and everyone chats to everyone, and it is a really nice vibe. And that's what I wanted to keep. I didn't want it to be. I don't want anyone dreading coming into work. And I think being that way, we've managed to build a really lovely space. And all of our reviews and everything show that.
Yeah, completely. I mean, it's become like such a destination. And plus the fact you've got it's not just a nail salon. You've got you've got tattooists in there now.
Yeah.
You've got so many different kind of walks of the beauty industry that it does feel like such a hub, like such a creative hub in there.
Yeah, it's so nice.
And there's so many different, I mean, well, to be honest, we'll probably do a whole other episode on this.
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of people are maybe like just on their own in maybe their beauty cabin in the garden or in their spare bedroom or whatever, and thinking about taking that leap onto the next stage, which is exactly what you've done.
Yeah.
That's how you started, and you've gone and you've gone through a few different guises, and now you're at where you are.
Yeah.
So it might be nice to sit down and do a whole episode on this about how people get themselves.
Yeah, what you need to think about.
Exactly.
Yeah, definitely.
So we'll do that next time.
Yeah.
Amazing. Sure. Okay. Well, in the meantime, we will be available on DMs as usual.
Yeah. Always.
20.pro.official. And of course, Lady Luck. What is it, Lady?
So you've got mine, which is lady.lucknails, or you've got ladyluck.ladyluck.
Okay, perfect. So we'll be back with another episode very soon, and we'll be back with that episode about taking yourself from sole nail tech to potentially salon owner.
Yeah.
Who knows? Sky's the limit.
Yeah.
So we'll see you then.
Yeah.
Amazing. Thanks, Lauren.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.